so super duper excited about my brand new ebook that is dropping just for you called Bitcoin Baby. And it's going to teach you everything that you need to know, baby steps for the brand new investor. Where is Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin? And what do you need to do with it? I know you've seen what's going on with Tesla and Elon Musk. I know you do. I know you're watching what moves Apple is making right now, and Bitcoin is going through the roof. Now it's time for you to get involved. Minorities, women of color, my heart is especially to come and get my people. So now it's time for you to get the ebook. Make sure that you join Rich University VIP because we're super lit on the inside. For brand new investors, we're showing you exactly how you too could participate in the largest wealth transfer of our time. Now it's time for you to come and get rich with us.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining in with us today. This is Teresa Perkins, editor and host of Exposure Spotlight Magazine, a talk show where your voice matters. Today, our special guest is an entrepreneur. She's an author and so much more. I am so excited that I had this opportunity, of course, meeting with her. And not only that, as the owner of Rich University, she is teaching individuals how to invest in Bitcoin to build their wealth with the Steve Harvey Foundation. Everyone help me to welcome this lovely and beautiful lady, Chyna Bethley. How are you doing?
I'm excited to be here, Teresa. Thank you so much for having me. I am so looking forward to this conversation with Exposure Spotlight Magazine. And yeah, let's do it.
Yes, I'm so excited. So from my understanding, you are from New Orleans, Louisiana, my hometown. I guess basically you can say I'm a little bit outside of New Orleans, but how exciting.
Yes, I love New Orleans so much. It's just rich in so much culture. You know, you're not going to get food like that nowhere else. I've traveled all over the world. And I just love home. I just love home. So rich in culture and just the essence is amazing.
Wow. So where are you now? You're in Atlanta, is that correct?
I am. I'm in Atlanta, yes.
Okay, so now how did you end up, moving from New Orleans to Atlanta? How did that all happen?
Yeah, so Hurricane Katrina moved us here. Unfortunately, the storm took a lot of things away, but we were still able to find a blessing in it because we started a new life and was able to raise our daughter. She was able to gain so much being inside of an environment like this. And we just made it home for us for right now. We still go back home to New Orleans a lot. My parents are still there, but Atlanta's been amazing to us.
Oh, wow. That is so excellent. So
yes.
Look, tell us a little bit, before I go into some of the questions, but tell us a little bit about your book that you just recently wrote.
Yes. So I just wrote a book called Bitcoin Baby because I really wanted to normalize the wealth conversation inside of our community about this cryptocurrency that could kind of sound like science fiction or something that's like, what the heck are you talking about? And I wanted to make sure that specifically women of color and minorities was not left out of this huge wealth transfer that we're actually in right now. So I created a book to talk in very basic baby terms to show people baby steps that they could take to starting their portfolio with cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin.
Oh, wow. How exciting. Yeah. I need to know a little bit more about that.
Yes, you need to get some. Yeah, well, I can definitely help you with that.
Oh, awesome. So, Chyna, your entrepreneur work is quite impressive, of course.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yes, it is. In today's world, the word entrepreneur seems to have taken on many definitions, wouldn't you say?
Sure. Yeah.
And some would even say that the area has become saturated. So what makes a successful entrepreneur? Because you are that.
Yeah, I think the thing is, and that's why I was like saturated. I think when you think about entrepreneurship, or when I do, I think about somebody really walking into their passion and them really leading in a vision that God has given them. And I believe that, you know, maybe some people are really passionate about beauty and a lot of people start selling hair, but I think entrepreneurship itself is so huge. And I believe that more of us need to be into entrepreneurship. I believe it will give us so much more fulfillment. I believe that we could really walk in our purpose if we identify things that could serve us, that we're good at and we're gifted at, and we monetize it and we serve the world. So we serve our gifts, and the gifts that we have serves the world. That's how I see entrepreneurship. If I have a gift or a skill that I develop or something that I really work on and I'm consistent with it, and I'm able to help somebody else with that, then I now take a gift that God gave me, right? I'm serving it, and now we get to serve the world to provide a solution for them, because that's all money is doing. You know, it's answering a problem, it's solving a problem, it's a solution for something. And I believe more people should be open to the idea of entrepreneurship.
Okay, I agree with you with that. Now, also, too, you know, most people would say entrepreneur work comes along with the brand, or, you know, comes with making a brand. So, which means that a lot of people have to identify themselves or what it is that they really have an interest in. So, how would you describe your brand?
My brand, Rich University, specifically, was something that God gave me a vision for 7 years ago. And the meaning behind it is more than what you see. It's more than what the eyes see, right? So Rich University came about because our community specifically was really uncomfortable, not just with money, but the idea of being rich. I was told, I remember my daughter, she made a comment in a car. She was probably about 5 years old at the time. And she was like, I want to be rich. And someone that was really close to the family, an adult figure, was like, oh, girl, don't, you know, get her for saying that. Like, I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean? She was like, oh, you don't want that baby talking like, I was like, are you kidding? Like that. I was completely like, what are we talking about? What is wrong with a child wanting to be rich?
Amen.
Like, and I believe that we've gotten into this relationship with poverty and being poor as a collective, that we have to break that. And so the idea was that they will see the word rich, become okay with being rich, but it really means more than money. So for my company, it stands for being royalty, identifying who you are, knowing that you are a queen or a king. It stands for being inspirational, making sure that whatever you do is to inspire someone else. It stands for being courageous, because if you're going to be successful and you do know who you are as a queen or king, you're going to have to be courageous in that process, because it's not going to feel good all the time. You're not going to want to all the time. You have to push past those barriers. And it also stands for being humble, because when you do reach that level of success that you've acquired and other people may not be there yet, you have to be humble and have grace toward where you used to be at. And so for us, rich is more than just being rich in finances. It's being rich in every area of your life, starting with being rich in mind and being rich in spirit.
Wow. Look,
Yeah.
girl, you on fire. Yes, you are. You have a right to be successful and being an entrepreneur. Where would you say that really came from? I mean, are your parents, you know, are they entrepreneurs?
That's a good question. I had the best of both worlds. I love, my parents are still married today. They were the best foundation, the best example for me. My mom worked a traditional job very, very hard. She believed in doing things by the book. And she married a man that was completely opposite. He is a hustler by nature. He is going to break all the rules if he can. Legal, as legal as he could be in the process. And so he was the man that gave me the entrepreneur spirit more than anything, because this is what I saw. I saw my mom work very hard. I saw my dad not work as hard, but I saw him make a lot of money, and he come in with the big chunks that made a lot of big moves in our family and growing up. Like, for example, you know, something he was doing, I don't know what, he was always into some kind of little odd jobs. He was going to find a way to be a middleman, make some money off of something. And I learned and I paid attention to his strategy, and they were able to put me through private school, you know, because of that. And so what I learned from my mom, though she worked very hard, sometimes 2 jobs, she showed me work ethic, and that you still have to do whatever it takes, and you cannot not allow pride to cause you to feel like you're above doing certain things. And so I was able to gain a proper work ethic from her, but also saying, look, you ain't gotta, there's more than one way to get to the top. So you don't have to go this route that everybody's telling you to go. You can become creative and find ways to attract what you want to have in your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, my parents were hugely impactful there.
Oh, that's really good. Actually, you and I have something in common, because I'm a licensed hairstylist as well.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. I love doing hair. I really enjoyed it.
So are you still doing hair or what?
No, I haven't done hair in about 10 years.
Okay, so the Bitcoin, the
Oh yeah.
Cryptocurrency really just
Oh,
been taking off
yeah, no, for
tremendously.
sure. When I got into free enterprise, it was network marketing that took me away from doing hair. I had no idea that that was going to happen. I was just like everybody else about network marketing. And then I started asking the right questions and got the truth and the answers. And I thank God that I wasn't fooled, because our community sometimes, they could be a little bullying. And I would have, you know, if I would have started asking people who didn't have the results I wanted, what they think that I should do, I probably would have never gotten into the industry and probably would not have had the story that I made my first million before 30.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, it was definitely because I did things untraditional and unconventional. I was bold enough to ask the right people who had the results I wanted for answers, and not just family and friends who did not have what I wanted. And that's what we do sometimes. We ask people who are not qualified to give us financial advice or what you think. Or they think skeptical about everything. That's what they think.
Yeah,
So, you know, we're taught that.
So after when you got into the Bitcoin, you just,
Yeah.
of course, I mean, I guess you say, what sense did it make for you to continue being a hairstylist?
Well, Bitcoin came a little later. I walked away from hair because of network marketing, which came in about 10 years ago for me. And I didn't plan to lead a job, but when I wasn't really making the money, you know, you got times where business is booming, you got times where it's not. The people in the salon, everybody was just kind of going through it financially. And one of my clients actually turned me on to these reshaping garments. Okay. Now my baby was about 7 years old at the time, but she might've been a little bit older at the time. So it wasn't baby weight, but I wanted to lose some weight. And so she asked me a question: do you want to buy this product retail or wholesale? And I was like, of course, wholesale. I'm an entrepreneur. I know wholesale is the way to go. And my mind was thinking so small. I was just thinking about flipping the money. She said, well, you need to become a member so you can have access to it wholesale, and you could sell it if you want to. So I was like, okay, well, I can just do a little quick flip and flip some money. And it was so interesting. My mind was only thinking about flipping money to pay some bills. And God was like, I'm about to position you to make your first million.
Wow.
Yes.
And if you don't mind me asking, and how old are you now?
So that part is very clear. I just had my 21st birthday on February 21st, 2021. So I'm forever 21. Forever 21. Okay, yes. For the record.
Good answer. That's a good answer.
For the record.
I'm with you. Forever 21.
Forever 21. Listen, Teresa, is so funny. I got kids. They're 6 and 7. My smaller kids are 6 and 7. And I'll just say this: I have a 20-year-old. So here's the thing.
Oh, girl, no. Seriously?
So here's the thing.
No, really, you really look 21.
Thank you so much. My
Really.
6 and 7-year-old think that I'm 23 now, because at the age they started recognizing that you're supposed to get older every year. Because I was 21 until they recognized that, well, Mom, this year you're 22. And I was like, oh, snap. Okay, I guess, right? And so this year it was like, yeah, Mom's making 23. And so they know how old everybody is in the house. And it's so weird because they're like, Anjay, you're 20, Mom's 23, I'm 6, she's 7. They're like, and she's like, Mom, you got to stop this. But anyway,
That is so awesome. You know, I mean, really, I admire you tremendously.
Thank you so much.
Now, look, let's go back into the Rich University. So
Yes.
is that like an online course?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
So
I
we
mean,
have
you
Rich,
share this so that people can
Absolutely.
talk to you.
absolutely. So we have Rich University VIP. It's the online group coaching community that really helps you to have the proper mindset. What I found out about wealth, it wasn't just about the skill, it was also about the mindset that was necessary. Most of us were taught limiting beliefs. Like my mom would say, girl, money don't grow on trees. And so that gave me a scarcity mindset around money. She would also say that little girls are supposed to be seen and not heard. She would also say, don't speak unless you're spoken to. So these type of ideologies cause us to be fearful to be entrepreneurs. It causes us to think limited when it concerns money. And so what I do inside of the community is I help people to have paradigm shifts in their mind that open them up to a new financial reality that's empowering to them. And so once they begin to realize, wait a minute, I'm a queen and I deserve nice things. I deserve to win. I deserve to, then now they start to be open to receiving those things. I'm a king. I deserve. So we have Rich University VIP. That's amazing. We have Bitcoin Baby, the book. And then I also have my Investor Academy. So for example, I'm sitting here I've been acquiring silver and gold for quite some time. I have my gold, my silver coins here.
Oh, wow.
So yes, I am the bank, okay? I have gold here. So all things investing. Yeah, no, I'm showing little Black girls around the world that listen, those bags are cute. That stuff is nice, but I want to show you how to make your money grow and not to just spend your money. So even gold cards, like that's pure gold bullion inside of those cards. And so I believe in acquiring assets and not liabilities. And so we teach you how to do that as well as Bitcoin, foreign exchange, binary options, e-commerce, all inside of the Investor Academy when they join my team.
Oh, wow. And, you know, with that being said, because this is what I want to ask, because cryptocurrency is, I think, is fairly or relatively, you know, it's a new term.
Yeah.
So basically, that's what I want you to explain to our audience as well, how it works in regards to spending.
So that's a great question, and I'm glad that you posed it that way. How does it work in regards to spending? Real investors are not really spending yet because we're focusing on the long-term play. And let me tell you why. Last year, Bitcoin was about $8,000. Today it's $50,000. If I would have spent it at 8,000, I would have missed the opportunity for the value to grow to 50,000 where I could have did more with it. We're projecting, Citibank analyst specifically has projected it to be 300,000 by the end of December 2021. So it's a great place to store your wealth. So we will spend it, but we're more or less excited for it to hit $1 million a coin and now take something that you only invested a couple of thousand in and now make big spending opportunities. However, I do position people that's in our Investor Academy to do short-term strategies. I have all of this in the book, but the book comes to life when you join my team inside of the Investor Academy. So we show you how to trade Bitcoin inside of the foreign exchange market by downloading a money app to your phone where you buy when it's low, you sell when it's high, and we show you exactly how to do that. So for example, one of my members, he did $10,000 yesterday. He's been trading with us for about 3 years. So it's not like he just came in out the gate and that happened, but he had his first $10,000 trading day. That's significant for him because he knew nothing about this when he got started. And he didn't have to figure out all of the details in the market. It's because of the community that's telling him, buy this particular, asset. And you're not physically buying it. You're just pressing a button on the phone and getting in a position. And so we do master classes all the time to show people physically what it looks like. They're blown away because in your mind, you're thinking it's hard. You're thinking that it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of money. None of those are true. It's very simple. It takes 2 minutes to put in a trade. It doesn't take a lot of money. Most people are funding their account with about $100. And it's not hard to learn because you're not learning in the beginning. We're allowing you to earn money while you're learning. And so I'm telling you what to do and you're just following directions. And so the more we can convey this message of the simplicity of it with the right community, because there's some communities that are not, and there's some things that's going on social media too. So that's why you got to connect with something that's legit in doing this, and you cannot just go out willy-nilly. But it's been amazing to see people really grow. So once again, Bitcoin itself is a digital asset. It's a cryptocurrency, which is digital money that you will be able to purchase whatever you want. You can now. You can buy a home with it. One of the educators that's on our platform, he's the first person to ever have a Bitcoin real estate transaction. Tesla is allowing you to buy Bitcoin with Teslas with Bitcoin now because Elon Musk just put in $1.5 billion into it. So you can buy cars, you can buy homes, you can buy coffee, you can go to Lowe's, and a lot more places are going to start accepting your Bitcoin. But I want to educate our community. You don't want to give up your Bitcoin right now because if it's projected to be 300,000 by the end of the year and it's only worth 50,000 now, if you just hold it, you'll be in such a better position. And so that's why education and community is just so important. And that's what I provide in Bitcoin Baby as well as inside of my Investor Academy.
Oh, wow. Girl, look, your phone should be ringing off the hook when we
yeah. I love it.
So look, I'm definitely going to have to do that, some type of contact information at the end of the program. I want to definitely, put that up so that people can, have that information and be able to reach out to Rich University.
Yes.
That name itself has a ring. So thank you.
I know that's right.
Now, so your passion, of course, and I heard you say that is teaching members of your community, our community, about investing. So what role do you think that knowledge of wealth plays in closing racial income gaps and empowering people of color? Because like you said a lot earlier about like our people, first of all, they are so limited, and the first thing they think that, oh no, I can't do this and do that because they thinking, you know, whatever. But in what way do you think that you know, that we helping our people basically?
It is the thing. It is the thing that we've missed out on. We've protested, we've marched, you know, we went to governments and we've gotten into politics. But if you don't have an economic system, you're going to always be at the beck and need of somebody to do something for us. We're too brilliant. We're too intelligent. We're too creative in 2021 to still be in a position where economics is an issue, because your creativity is currency. And we're seeing that right now play out in social media. People are the next generation. I'm a millennial. My daughter is a Gen Z, and seeing what Gen Zs are doing right now to be creative is really fascinating. And so I believe that if you are going to talk about bridging that gap, the gap is a financial gap. That's the only gap that we have. Mm-hmm. So then that means that we need to be very, very intentional when it comes down to economics, pushing into conversations like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency early on, while you still have a chance to really have a stake in the game, because there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin to ever be created. 19 million are already accounted for. The $1 billion boys in mega companies are just starting to get in. If they wanted to buy them all up, that gives you a bit of a disadvantage if you don't have any in the midst of this time right now. And so the issue with the racial gap is the economics. That part is so important. So if we don't figure out the economics, which is why I thank God for him calling me for a time such as this to be so bold and so intentional, but also so relatable to the everyday person, to say, if that woman could do it, who's been through breast cancer, whose daughter was born at 1 pound, 8 ounces, who comes from a place that I could identify with, that definitely I can do it too. And that's why my hand is out to say, let's go. There's a seat at this table just for you.
Wow, that is awesome. And you mentioned, you know, look, I really commend, I can just see the conviction that you really have when you speak about, you know, your business, basically, yeah, being an entrepreneur and to empower other people. This is just truly so awesome. You know, I mean, I'm really elated. I am overwhelmed to be in your presence, because I think this is just so awesome, really. And like I said, I'm looking for people to really reach out to try to find out more information, because the time is now. You said that earlier, and it really is, because so many of our people has been without, you know, and you know, and so let's talk about, you know, you went through breast cancer. You did not let anything, you didn't allow that to stop you in your endeavors and what you're doing. So how did you actually overcome that, you know, in spite of you going through that?
Yeah, God's grace is so amazing, because when I didn't know what to do, he did. And when I was going through chemotherapy specifically and feeling, oh gosh, you know, and if for a while I stopped sharing my story, because you kind of feel like, oh, well, everybody know it, everybody heard. And I was getting my hair done one day, and a young lady started asking me very specific questions. And I even spoke like it to her. I said, you're so good at this. You pulled out stuff that I hadn't talked about in a while. And she said, I said, you really should do something with it. She said, you think I could? I said, Oprah is a billionaire because she knows how to ask the right questions. Mm. And she was like, oh my gosh, like you put it in perspective. And so, you know, his grace is so amazing, because, you know, being diagnosed with breast cancer, it didn't run in my family. Where did it come from? And it was a tough time, but my husband was such an amazing anchor for me. He was so supportive. He made me feel beautiful. Even when all my hair was gone, he would massage my head, and he would tell me about my small baby head that I had and I had no brows, no lashes, no nothing. And he made me feel so beautiful. So I'm forever grateful for his genuine love. But it was a tough season in my life because you feel so sick. And you don't know what's going to happen on the other side. But I really believed that everything was going to be well. I really believed that I was going to live. I am going to live until 120. God said we got 120 years. So that's why I got to make sure I age backwards, so I could preserve myself to make it. So it's the mindset. And this is why I tell people everything starts here. We hear ourselves speak and our thoughts. And so I just kept telling myself that I was going to get over it. I was going to be fine. And it was times that I didn't feel like I was. Going through chemo is tough. I remember by the time I got to the third or fourth treatment, oh my gosh, it was so tough. I remember the scent of the room. I remember sitting there for hours and knowing that poison was going through my veins. It was tough. I remember after it was over with, feeling so nauseous and not wanting to eat. I remember looking sick because I didn't want to eat. And as a young girl going into doctor's offices where there was only really older white people, and they were just amazed because if I was feeling fine, I was feeling fine. I never allowed my current status or situation at the time to define who I was or who I was going to become. And I believe genuinely from my heart, and this is why belief is so important. And you got to surround yourself with people that's going to speak life into you. I genuinely believe that I would make it through. I believe that I would genuinely make it through. I believe that I was going to live. I believe that if there was favor, that I had it. And so it helped me through the process, and having supportive people around me, like my husband and my daughter and those that my mom, it was my mother-in-law. And so those things are important with that. And so coming on the other side of it, I was more determined, actually. I was more determined to know that I laid on a bed that could have been my deathbed. So now even the more, I got to fight. You got to be strong. God gave you a second chance at life. It ain't to sit around and have a pity party. You get up and you go get what's necessary so that you can make an impact, because we only have one life. And this is something my husband always says. It's not like we got another life hanging up in the closet. You got one. You don't have another one hanging up in the closet. So do your best, not your least.
Wow. So he was a great inspiration for you.
Oh, he was. He would massage my head and he just made me feel beautiful when I know I was bald-headed, no lashes, no brows. Wow. It was amazing, and it kept me going. And he would tell me, when you get out of this bed, see, that's the thing about when people are going through a tough time, just give them hope for the future. Give them hope for the future. If you ever know somebody that's going through something, you speak life into them by giving them hope for the future.
Girl, you are an evangelist.
Amen.
You are an evangelist. Yes, you are. Yes.
Amen.
Look, I'm enjoying this so much. But also, as you were speaking, because, there are a lot of people that, went through or, having cancer and, and so they start feeling a certain way down about themselves, or if they're going to live and make it the next day. So you're saying that if you speak life into yourself, along with putting yourself around positive people, then that can actually uplift you in a lot of ways to where it just brings more life into you.
It does. Words are so powerful. Words. God created the whole world with words. And when I remember when I had it was like a full revelation. We know that we're made in his image and he's given us the power to create, right? He's the creator, but we create with our words. And so depending on what you're hearing, right? That's where faith comes from, by hearing, right? We hear. So what are you hearing around you? Are people around you like, oh, and down and depressed? And are you talking like that about yourself? Because you hear what you speak. So when you begin to speak that I am going to live, that I am a conqueror, that by God's stripes I am healed, when you begin to speak that, and I would listen to praise and worship music, and once again, the people that was around me, were there times that I felt down? Yes. Were there times where I was a little afraid? Yes. Were there times where I was mad and angry and was like, why am I going through this? Yes. But the truth is, I did not allow those experiences to dominate my everyday experiences of knowing that I was going to make it. And the more you think it, the more you speak it, the more you believe it. The more you think it, the more you speak it, the more you believe it. Why? Because faith comes by hearing. And so what you speak, you hear, and what you hear, you believe.
You better go ahead with your bad stuff.
So that's why positive thinking is so important. It really is.
Yeah. Do you still see that, even though it's changing, but do you still see that people look at that business and finance is more, still is a man's world or a man's, thing. And then as a woman, I know you mentioned, going through the breast cancer and all of this, what challenges or obstacles that you faced when you actually tried to break out into this field?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So, I'm in an industry that is perceived to be very male dominant, because the people that are holding some of the top positions are males. But it's a lot of females. Not only are they now entering into this space, but they are very good and successful at doing what it is that we do. And so I do believe that it's very important as women that we stick together. And it's already projected that the Black woman, I believe it was Forbes that said it, the Black woman has been the fastest growing entrepreneurs, and they're expecting so much from Black women. And so now more than ever, we have to continue to be the voice for women who don't feel like they have a voice. We have to continue to be an example for those who haven't seen an example in their homes. We have to continue to be bold and courageous because the next generation is watching. And I believe that a woman is something so powerful about a woman in business or economics or having financial stability, because when a woman gets money, she's not going to just think about herself. When a woman gets money, she's not going to even just think about her own immediate family. A woman is going to impact her community. It's just our makeup. It's just what we do. And it's just the way that we serve. And so the more Black women specifically that we empower, the better our communities are going to be well off. And so I'm excited about women rising up. I'm excited about the collaboration. I'm excited that we're not believing the stereotypes and the status quos of us having to compete with one another. And I'm excited to be leading these movements amongst women empowerment in the area of economics and finances. And I'm excited about where we are and the doors that we open for many more.
Okay, great. So if you had to narrow it down, what are the 5 essentials for someone looking to build their own business? I mean, of course, we're looking to get into this,
Right.
cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all of that. But at the same time, what are the 5 essentials that you think that people should or basically just give your opinion, narrowing it down to what you feel, to help someone build their own business?
So first of all, they have to understand that in order for somebody to support you, you have to give them something to support. The reason a lot of people, for number one, don't start their business is not because they don't have the idea. It's not because they don't have the skill, but it's because a lot of times when we're getting started, we ask those that's closest to us what they think. I got this idea. And all of a sudden, the people around us start calling this big idea that God showed us. They start to actually say, how's that little thing going, right? And they begin to minimize something that was so big. And so the belief then is kind of shaken a little bit. The doubt kind of comes in. So you have to understand that if you got a vision or an idea to do something, write that vision down, make it very plain, and be persistent toward doing it every single day. Sometimes it's best not to even tell anybody in the beginning, because you got to give them something to support. Otherwise, you're not asking for support, you're asking for permission. You're asking for permission to get started with that business and be serious about that business. So number one, you have to take the vision that God has given you or whatever that idea is, and you have to commit to following through. The second thing that you have to do is trust that it's good enough. Trust that it's good enough, even if other people don't support you in the beginning. Even if other people don't agree, if they want to talk you out of it, trust that it's good enough, because I promise you, you're going to see somebody else do it and you're going to be like, see, I knew I should have did that thing. The third thing that I would say is put yourself in an environment of resourceful people. People that around you who can help you to take that vision from idea, and it's just an idea in your mind, to full manifestation. So from conception to manifestation, it's just a conception, a thought in your mind, to full out resources of people. The next thing is be prepared for the ups and downs that come. Just because you had a hiccup along the way doesn't mean you quit or you stop. Either you win or you learn. And the fifth thing I would say is understand that the blessings that you get is so that you can bless somebody else. So always be willing to give back, always be willing to share, always be willing to understand that the treasure, the true treasure, is in the transparency of the story.
Oh, wow. Like I said, just truly awesome. Okay. So Chyna, also too, now tell us about the collaboration, or how is it that you or working with the Steve Harvey Foundation with yeah, what an awesome thing.
So excited. So obviously I'm sharing what I do on a platform among single moms with Steve Harvey and Marjorie Harvey's foundation. Steve has been so just sound in the young Black men lives. He really wants to see young Black boys have support, and so he also knows that then I have to support these single moms who represent so many of the moms that's raising these young Black boys. And so there's an opportunity for single moms to come in on a platform and hear about different ways and solutions that they can actually provide for their children, or ideas that they can start their businesses with, or different techniques that they can become even more relevant in 2021 so that they have the resources to raise their boys. And obviously my conversation with Rich University is going to be talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and becoming an investor and how they could use technology. I mean, listen, they're playing the games. They're playing Fortnite. They know how to do all these configurations. Then surely they can press a button that says buy or press a button that says sell and learn this technique and skill so that they could even perhaps help their moms, because the kids are the techie ones. I believe that the next generation is going to be able to help the current generation to do even better. So I'm excited about Steve and Marjorie Harvey's foundation. I'm excited about the contribution that they've made into our society. And I'm excited to be a special guest on the platform for single moms.
Well, that is wonderful, and congratulations to you on that. Look, I have truly enjoyed this conversation with you, and I can tell you, look, you are, like I said earlier, you're so fired up about this, and I believe this, when God gives you something, you have to be fired up about it. And the thing that I love most about it, that you want to help others to become wealthy as well. So we have to get involved. And, you know, hopefully, like I said, the phone calls or whatever, emails, however it needs to be done.
They can actually text me. I have a text number now. I'm so excited. And
okay, well, give that number right now.
Yes, so that number is 404-737-0688.
Okay.
404-737-0688. They can text me there.
Oh, wow. Wonderful. And I'm going to put it at the end of the screen as well. So this is just so great. And I am sure that you're going to get a lot of people from Louisiana. They better, because here we're talking about our hometown girl here.
Exactly. And if they just put Spotlight there, I'll know it comes from Exposure Spotlight magazine. So if they can just text me Spotlight, then we'll be able to connect, and that'll be awesome.
That sounds wonderful.
Sounds wonderful. It comes from Teresa.
Yes, most certainly. So is there anything else, Chyna, that you would like to share before we end our conversation?
I just want to say thank you for following your dream. I want to say thank you for being a voice. I want to say thank you for exposing the people who watch your show and see you be so consistent to all of the different people that you've interviewed. You matter so much, and I'm so honored to be alongside you this March for Women's Month, celebrating all of the work and effort that you've been able to do. So we love you, we thank you, and I'm so excited that we had a chance to meet.
Oh, thank you. Now you're about to bring tears to my eyes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard the wonderful voice of Chyna Bethley, look, of Rich, the CEO and founder of Rich University. So we are going to put her information at the end of the screen here so that you all can reach out to her and text her, because she wants to help all of us. And God bless her. I thank you so much, because truly, Chyna Bethley, your voice matters.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm excited.
Yes, God bless you.
God bless you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Just came up with another bright idea.